Here we go.
Sporte Avis is here today with young 16-year-old athlete Ibed Sealy from the community of Beaufort. Ibed recently represented St Lucia at the Carifta Games and is here today to take us on a journey from where he started to where he's hoping to be in the future. So let's jump right into the interview with Ibed Sealy.
If you're feeling happy, 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 well, let me hear somebody say hooray, 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 hooray.
Let's talk a little bit about track. How old were you when you first realized that you had a love for track?
Well, when I realized I had a love, that was when I entered secondary school. But I started at 6-7 years old.
What influenced you to pick up track as a sport?
Well, when I realized that people appreciate what I do as an athlete and my parents really wanted to push me into it, that kind of influenced me to take it up serious.
An 800 meter runner.
Yeah.
Before you settled on the 800 meters, did you try out any other distances?
Well, before I ventured in many different distances. I did the sprints, I did a couple of field events, because I represented St Lucia in high jump in 2012 in Jamaica. But as I grew older and my body developed, I just settled down to 800 for now.
Okay, but do you still have an avid interest in the other aspects of track and field, like the high jump?
Well, I have the interest in it, but it's the training. I don't really have a coach to train me for high jump, so I just stuck to it.
So let's talk a little bit about your school, like going up through secondary school. How influential was representing your school in your development?
Well, representing my school basically advertised me to the public and make them know who I am as an athlete. I really appreciated that.
You ran at Intersect earlier this year. Tell us a little bit about your experience at Intersect. How did you perform?
Well, despite running conditions and ill treatment of athletes, Intersect was just, like, I just went to win. I didn't have a main goal, like to run a certain time. I just went to win and to redeem myself from the incident that happened last year.
Okay. And how was your overall individual performance at Intersect?
Well, despite my slow time, my goal was to win and I did such, so I'm kind of satisfied with what I did.
Let's talk a little bit about your involvement at the Carifta Games earlier this year. How was the training like leading up to the tournament, and how did you go about qualifying for the Carifta Games?
Well, training was very tedious, but hard, and then qualifying, well, training is really the hard part, but qualifying is the easy part. I just had to do what I did at training and at qualifying.
What was the experience like during the tournament in St. Kitts?
Well, this year Carifta, at my first time, it was just a learning experience for me. As like I'm not really accustomed to the atmosphere up there. The atmosphere here is nothing compared to up there. I was really nervous. That kind of got me shaken. My experience, I just went for experience.
And performance-wise, what was your performance like in Carifta? Were you satisfied?
No, I was not satisfied at all, because my personal best is 1 minute and 58 seconds, and I went up then on 2:01 because, like, strategic reasons, they boxed me in and I was nervous and I didn't know how to react when they did that.
Picking up on the fact that you could have done a little bit better, have you strategized any plan to help counteract that next time?
Well, yeah, I have my plan strategized. My coach and I discussed that. I told him what happened and he told me, just don't worry about that. Just see it as a stepping stone, so next year I can do better.
You said that you're leaving Beaufort Comprehensive this year. You're a Form 5 student. Out of school, what is your training schedule like? How often do you train?
Well, right now I'm seeking sponsorship, and when I get that, I have to train 5 days a week and maybe twice a day, but later on in the summer.
Do you have any special way that you train which is different from other athletes, or do you basically do what the norm is?
Well, from what other athletes have been telling me, in my training I get more rest period than they do, and I work on more speed endurance, and they do more mileage.
And what motivates you to keep going as an athlete?
Well, my supporters, my fans, my parents, my friends, they are the ones really keep me motivated and keep me in the sport. And making the national sport also motivates me to make more national sports and make my country proud.
You said that you were searching for sponsorship. How important is that? Do you have all the resources that you need in order to get where you want to go?
Well, currently the resources are very little, and the sponsorship is really needed right now for my development in the sport.
As an athlete, who do you draw inspiration from?
Well, I know I'm not a sprinter, but my inspiration comes from Usain Bolt. I just like the way he gets on at track meets. He's not someone that nervousness would take him. He's always juvenile and happy. Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of local athletes, local track athletes, who are you most impressed by, or who do you see yourself wanting to emulate?
I have a couple of friends that I really look up to them because they have gotten sponsorship, and I'd like to be in their shoes at the moment.
Okay, and you mind sharing with us who these friends are?
Well, one in particular is like a friend from my previous club, Talbot Polio, currently running 400 meters up in Texas.
Okay. One of your main aims, like you said, is to seek sponsorship. If you are successful in getting that sponsorship, how would you use that in order to help motivate you to keep going on the career path? How would that be influential in your development as an athlete?
Well, getting the sponsorship would really supply me the basic needs and necessities that I need as an athlete, and I would be devoting all my time to training because I'll be getting sponsorship from different people, and that would really push me in my career and make me achieve my goals.
What do you want to come out of your career when you look back in the next 5 or 6 years?
5 or 6 years, I would like to be an Olympian. I'd like people to look at me as a role model in their athletic life, and they see me as a good inspiration to aspiring athletes.
You know that you're stall. Fly away, Peter, fly away, Paul. It's my time to shine. I shine it like a star. I shine it like a star. I shine it like a star. It's my time to shine. I shine it like a star. I shine it like a star. I shine it like a star. It's my time to shine.